Good morning. Today I wanted to share a little something that's related to junk journaling. I wanted to share some of the materials that I've collected and some of the ways that I am storing them because I found this can quickly get out of control and stuff can pile up, and it's like how to keep kind of stuff organized and contained and all of that good stuff. So I'm going to share a little bit of that. One other really cool tip that I learned on the random pieces of slivers of paper and little chunks of paper. It's like I've been throwing that in the trash, but then I discovered this really cool way to use them, and so I wanted to share that. And I'll have to revisit the video that I got that tip from, because it was like 15 tips on junk journaling for beginners, and so I think it was in there. I definitely want to credit where I found this tip from, because it's not something I came up with, but so I will do my best to find that. I'll start with that actually. So I have random bits of scrap paper that I have after working on a page or whatever, and they recommended putting those scraps, taping them into an old book, pages in a book, and then you get kind of your own paper, if you will, to then repurpose and use in journals later down the road. It's just an easy way to store the scraps of paper, and then you have, I've only done this for a couple of days, but I have 2 pages now of paper, if you will, to use in junk journals or whatever. So these are just all random scraps of paper, and you can have them kind of be in theme, or kind of certain color tones, floral stuff or whatever. You can just paste them wherever. So I just glue them in, and yeah, I just thought that was a brilliant idea. So that's the first thing. The second is just some storage containers and options that I have found to be helpful. This little folder, Ziploc folder situation, is something I got at the dollar store, and I have found it helpful to just throw random scraps of paper in here. And I also wanted to show, let's see, some new things I've picked up. These were from yesterday. Those credit card offers you get? These make good little inserts for pockets and stuff, so you can collage over these. Of course, I like envelopes, so those are always helpful. And then I got this bubble wrap, work as a cover potentially for something, or inside of a journal. Got these texture on it, and I think that's really cool. So yeah, I look at mail in a totally different way now. So anyway, these folders are really nice to just toss stuff in and keep it contained. You can have a folder of envelopes or scrap paper. This is not that organized, but as I'm talking through it, that probably would be a really good idea. This is another thing that I got at the dollar store. It's just a plastic little bin, and this was easy to just toss stuff in, and it is getting full. So the other thing is, because things can pile up pretty quickly, is kind of setting some limits, like, okay, I've got, what, 3 bins of stuff, and I've got one other bin in my closet, to just kind of like have yourself work with what you have. And then also, like, if you're thinking about doing a particular theme based on like a color or a vibe or textures or something like that, like setting those items aside in a specific folder to have easily accessible for when you are working on that type of journal. So I saw someone do a junk journal that was all in like red theme, red tones, and I thought that was really cool. So things like that, like if you have an idea, like I want to do a journal that's like in a particular color, then you can like have one of these folders set aside specifically for things that you find to put in there. I also have this like kind of mobile file thing, and in it I have like a label, ephemera, potato, however you want to say it. I also have a folder labeled collage scraps, stickers, like loose individual stickers, but also like these panels of stickers. Or if it's not bound in a book, like I have lots of sticker books, those are separate in a separate thing, but any like pages of stickers I like put in here. Also be good for like holding magazines or like catalogs and things like that that you get in the mail. So yeah, newspapers, like those free newspapers that you can get at restaurants and stuff that kind of share local events and news. I find I pick those up, and then I've got another folder with just envelopes, and then I have another one with stencils. So I do find that it's helpful to categorize things and organize it a little better. So if you're like, I want to work with stencils today, you can go to that folder, pull them out, work with that. Or if you want to, if you're looking for an envelope, again, you go to your envelope folder, things like that. And I've kind of learned as I've been going through this that having a little bit of organization with your supplies helps. These 2 folders, for example, not super organized. Like these 2 bins I kind of need to poke through and pull some of the stuff out and tweak it a little bit more. But I do like the Dollar Tree for getting some really inexpensive supplies. So these kind of folders like that, or you can get just standard folders too for paper. And you might already have things like that lying around the house. Manila folders with the little like pockets. Those work really well to store things. And then another thing I got at the Dollar Tree was like this little case. I have my paint brushes in here, glue sticks, a bunch of glue from the Dollar Tree. So yeah, I definitely recommend going there in general, just either for supplies to use in your junk journals or storage solutions. So that's what I wanted to share with you today. What else? This was what my craft scissors came in, and then I'll use this as like my word scrap holder. So I have all kinds of just words clipped in here, and I think this is a nice little easy way to keep those. I'm looking at these containers that I have a bunch of like pins in, and this is kind of another thing. Like, this used to be a candle. When it was done, I put it in the freezer and then chipped out the remaining wax, cleaned it out, and now it's like a great holder for my charcoal pencils and pens and such. So just kind of being able to recycle some materials to use for your like art supplies. And then of course mason jars work really well. Most of the things that I hold all of my pens and markers are like some form of like a recycled candle container. So those work really well. Yeah, so anyway, I just wanted to share that today. That's going to be, I am going to work on my journal a little bit, but this is the thing I wanted to share today. So I hope that was helpful, and I'll be sure to include the link for the video on like tips for beginners, because that's where I found that great idea to on like how to reuse your scraps of paper for future journaling. So anyway, that's all. Have a good day.